Guys, what's up? Happy Tuesday to everyone. Welcome to Rumbi Uncensored. I must just say that somebody requested that I play the song. All right. So you can see what's going on social media. They are hunting GEZA. It's exciting. It's exciting by day, but I must tell you that I'm sure he's very safe and sound. He's protected. The people are saying, leave GEZA alone. The revolution is alive and kicking. Mnangagwa must go, not because of politics, but on principle. That he is not the leader that we're looking for. He can't deliver. And we can see with what's going on in the country right now. I don't know if you guys have watched the presser for Chris Muchanga, but I think we're going to talk about that tomorrow morning. For now, we are focusing on, Mnangagwa hunting GEZA. A lot of money is being paid out so that they can deport. I don't know, they want him to be deported from where? Because he's there. He's there. He's in the vicinity. He's in the vicinity. I don't know what they're looking for. Yo, all right. I know some of you just passed through this channel for the first time. I want to say shout out. Please do yourself a favor and subscribe. Make sure that you ring the bell so that every time I'm live or I drop a video, you will be robbed right here to have a conversation with me. By the way, you know the ritual. You guys should just thumbs up the video as we move along because we're going to be discussing about GEZA right now. Okay. First and foremost, like I said earlier on, the revolution is alive and kicking. He's going to be deported from where? Arimo, Imomo. Check there. He's there. He's around. He's in the vicinity. Yazi, he's there, man. He's there. He's there. Interesting. Welcome everybody. I must just say shout out to Comrade GEZA. Okay guys, long live hashtag in the comment section. Long live GEZA, long live. All right, GEZA, is shown by Emerson Mnangagwa this like in this season. Did you guys saw how Chris Muchanga was angry? Okay. One thing that is so sad about the season that we are in now is that Chris thought he was smart. Do you recall when he said, if you guys want to do away with this regime, you must make sure that at least you fight the way that we fought Smith. Okay, now we are back with the very same people that fought Smith. So what's your problem now? Chris, relax and chill. Remember, you asked for this and we delivered. Okay, GEZA is back the same way they fought the regime. He's fighting the Smith regime is fighting you because you failed. It's really sad to watch. But I must also let you know that Emerson Mnangagwa has turned to a motivational speaker. I did not know that, the position of being a president and what's going on, it can be really this intense. He's now a motivational speaker, Emerson. He's encouraging people. All right, so we're going to move on very quickly. The Minister of Japan to tell you that some countries are serious because in Zimbabwe, I don't think we are, but some countries, they mean business. So the minister says sorry and resigns. Wait, for what? What really happened in Japan? I'll read for you. So Japanese farming minister Taku Eto has resigned over bragging that he has never had to buy rice. Speaking at a weekend fundraiser, Eto joked that gifts from supporters had kept his rice pantry full, a remark that did not sit well with voters who are already fuming over record high rice prices driven by poor harvests and higher demand from a boom in tourism. Facing backlash, Eto apologized, said the comment was extremely inappropriate and stepped down. Does this work in Zimbabwe? Because they steal and it's still billions. They do it openly so. They will never resign. They feel entitled to sit in those positions. So like I said, we came here to deliver. The revolution is not going to back down. Emerson Mnangagwa and every criminal in the country have to be dealt with harshly so. Because if others can resign for simply saying stupid statements, in our country, they kill, they torture, they abduct, and nothing happens. How on earth can we carry on with such a regime? So with me here sitting here, and I know what you guys feel, it's not about politics. It's bigger. No politician is bigger than Zimbabwe. Be it Mnangagwa, Chamisa, whoever he is, Chiwenga, no politician that is bigger than Zimbabwe. So this is the message that we are sending to Emerson to say, no, on principle that you have failed our people for a long time. You failed to deal with corruption. In fact, you are being accused of being the chief corrupt guy in the country. So with that being said, you have to go. It's not negotiable. It's non-negotiable. And I repeat, you must be packing. It is what it is. Anyway, we have to move on. I must tell you, like I said earlier on, that Emerson Mnangagwa is not turned to a motivational speaker. So yesterday he had a meeting at Cricket Farm. First and foremost, majority of the people did not turn up. They didn't turn up because they hated the fact that Kudata Gwire now seems to be pushing his way to be the president. I don't know, maybe of the party, because in Zimbabwe, I swear, I'm in Zimbabwe myself. What is the point of living with the men who have bleeded the country to death? Now you want to come and be a leader? So you took the money hoping that you can use that to play games. Not in 2025. Zimbabweans are smarter than the devil. So honestly, it doesn't work. But listen to Emerson Mnangagwa. Listen to him. Mnangagwa is now a motivational speaker. It is a very sad story. I must tell you, no. Yeah, okay, no, that's all right. He's talking about how people should work hard, farming more, right? You need to farm more. If you want to farm, you must go in and check what other people are doing. And that for me, I was like, sir, you have been gallivanting across the world and see what other countries are doing. You on record saying that Zimbabwe is 1,000% behind, like what's going down in Dubai. What have you done? Did you even achieve 2% of what's going on in Dubai? None whatsoever. So if you are preaching as that we need to learn from other countries, you need to lead by example. That's the purpose of having a president. He needs to lead by example. Today the country is in chaos. I'm not surprised because you can see where he is and what's going on. It's a testament that Mnangagwa is not the one that we are looking for. Unfortunately. So on the principle, say, you must be sent packing. It's not politics. You guys can fight all you want in your political party. We don't care. But what we are saying is that we cannot carry on with Emerson Mnangagwa as the president, and we can't also carry on with the thieves that surround him. His bodies that he's playing with, they must all be sent back. In fact, they must all be heading to prison. That's where they belong. If they are lucky, though, not to face firing squad. Because you know why I keep on talking about the firing squad? It's because I'm sick and tired. It's one thing for a person to make mistakes and acknowledge that, yo, I fumbled, but I can fix this. I'll try my best. But not the current nonsense we are watching. You're giving out cars, you're giving out money so openly, brazenly so, with such evidence of corruption, without caring about the pain of our people, without caring about mothers who are sitting in the heat trying to feed their children. Some kids have dropped out of school because of your looting. Guys, nothing that will bring justice like the firing squad. You see this? Some people don't deserve to be seen in society. Because if you can carry on with such kind of wickedness, in other words, you're looking at us like we are crazy. Firing squad will do justice for the Zimbabwean people. You are lucky that I'm not really a politician, because if I was a politician in that space, I'll make sure that rains really well. And each and every person, because how many people you guys have killed? So many, because you've been stealing, right? Anyway, let me read what I hope Chingono said. I must apologize on the video. There's something that happened right there. All right, so Hopo Chingono said this is at the Harare Central Police Station, the biggest police station in Zimbabwe. The place is filthy, smelling like a dirty toilet. Inside the buildings, it is terrible. Outside, there are rubbish dumps, and you even see coffins used to carry fatal accident victims thrown around outside the police station. It is a mess. What really happened to Zimbabwe? It used to be the gold standard for post-colonial Africa until the mid-90s. Something happened, something very terrible. Now Zimbabwe is a signature for everything that is wrong about Africa and the post-liberation rule. Nobody wants to stay there unless they are part of the looting elites and their businesses surrogates. So sad to watch such a great country reduced to a laughingstock. Imagine turning up at a police station and seeing coffins thrown around. So tragic. So at Harare Central Police Station, Harare Central Police, that is it, hey, the police station, charge office. That's the name that I know. Can I say that my coffins are, guys, listen. And sometimes I always say, as much as I am mad with Emmerson Mnangagwa, whom I think he's the troublemaker here, guys, you are a human being. You are mothers, your fathers. Your wife is at home. Your children, how were you raised if you can just throw away dirty anywhere? I mean, it's filthy. And I just don't even understand why Mafume is still employed. Forget about being the most corrupt guy in town. Evidence is there. You can't even buy beans. You can't even have trucks. But guys, you are giving cars in the what the hell is this regime trying to do? Goes back to what I said, that the firing squad can do justice. Because sometimes you need to set a precedence for generations to come. Because this level of disrespecting is too much. It's way too much. China everywhere. Guys, let's do our best to remove China. You can't remove dirty, but you are able to take my button stick. People who are fighting for a better Zimbabwe. Name a button stick, but you can't remove China around where you guys work. You see this? You're sitting in the... Honestly, guys, listen, I hate dirty, okay? I hate dirty. Honestly... They always say that how you keep your environment will determine the kind of thinking that's going on in your head. I'm not surprised that this country is in a mess. The data can actually testify why we are where we are today. Imagine China everywhere. Everywhere. I mean, the streets, the buildings. I mean, this regime failed for the past 45 years, ZANU-PF, to build a proper public toilet in towns. I'm talking about Harare, the capital city. I even said to some people, you know what? I genuinely believe that we need to start building a better capital city post-Mnangagwa era. Because the debt that's in Harare, unbelievable. Filthiness. Except Kwaku said Kwaku are not in Dokuima elites, where they go and do the shopping. This level of evil, it has to be dealt with harshly. Honestly, harshly. All right. I don't want to discuss about elections right now because, listen, y'all, I genuinely believe that Zimbabwe needs to have proper reforms to talk about elections. I know politicians out there, honestly, like, let me drink some water, please. I know those that have ambitions for positions are pushing on elections. Y'all, the only way to deal with Emmerson Mnangagwa is to starve him of politics. You know, that's the only clutch that he has. Politics, playing games. Playing games, abductions, torture, beating people around, imposter, paying. It's chaotic in the country. And someone wants to talk about elections. Aye, guys, we need a restart button. We need to bring structures to order. We need to revamp our institutions. We need to have rules that works, laws that people have to abide by. Guys, we need proper leadership. And there's also something that worries me a lot. I don't know how you guys feel about this. There's a problem in our country that we cannot work together. This is a problem. It is a problem because I don't know how we expect to build this country where we are divided. Because those that also feel like they have monopoly to change, that is in the opposition, are pushing on elections. Elections are only, like I don't subscribe to that. Without reforms, forget about elections. But on the other side, in the ruling party, they feel entitled to just be in position that they cannot deliver. So there is this chaos of fighting for positions more than the betterment of the country. So I do not subscribe to the fight of positions. I don't really care. Again, it proves and shows that majority of people don't even know what is purpose. Because working for the government is not purpose, y'all. It's serving for a period of time. What are your God-given talents? Why are you here in this world? Because without the government, no, you don't have a life. No, that's why you guys kill each other for a position. Right? I can't even begin to fathom that I fight for a position. I already have a position. For me, I feel like even working in the government is a demotion. It is a demotion because I already have a God-given talent. I saw a woman yesterday. She's a South African woman. She said, I forgot her name. She said, the worst mistake I made in my life was to actually join politics. She said, because I left my corporate business that was thriving, and I'm not an empathetical person. I can't function around toxicity, hatred, division, because that's what they do. That's the machination of politicians. They always divide people, pushing hatred unnecessarily. I genuinely believe that for some time we need to mute elections and say, can you hold the hands for the first time and say, hapana my elections, but I just love you. What is it that you have to show? What can you deliver for us to move forward? That's my take, because I agree with what Ali said here. He said, dear Zimbabweans, there is no change coming via the ballot box. Make peace with that fact, which is supposed to be a common sense. I mean, even Comrade Chivero mentioned the same thing. No matter how much you win elections in Zimbabwe, it doesn't work under current circumstances. Let's forget about these guys. Let's hold each other's hands. Let's come together and have a new culture and a new politics. Politics that is not being birthed by hatred, but rather execution. What is it that you can give? What that can do to make Zimbabwe a better place? Like I said, some people are obsessed with politicians, but I'm not one of them. Anyway, let me read what Lily said as well. She said, Kudatagwire, you are not a business tycoon. You are a criminal. Wikina, you are not a business tycoon. Scott Sarponya, you guys are not business people. Idi Mnangagwa, with all due respect, you are not a business tycoon. Auxilia Mnangagwa, with the due respect, you are not a businesswoman. Murimbava in general. The Chigaranda thing is too decorated for me. You guys are thugs. Murukubiranyika is what you were saying. Strive Masiwa and since you are goated. Business tycoons deserve the respect from all citizens. You are exemplary to future generations. I agree. I mean, Masiwa may have his own, last time I had a problem when they said, I don't care about politics. I don't want to comment in politics. I'm like, hold on. You're running your company in Zimbabwe because of politics. So you really cannot say that you don't care about politics. That is a lie. We all should care about politics. We are here because of politics. So I find it very weird when some people say, I'm not going to do politics. If you don't do politics, they do you. Okay? So I'm not a politician. Neither do I even care. But the truth of the matter is that I'm a Zimbabwean. And everything that goes wrong, it does really affect me. All right. Temptation. Tagwire, don't forget you are on sanctions, but forget you are using our taxes. Don't forget you are responsible for this condition here in Zimbabwe. Lastly, don't forget kuti makati Zimbabwe aitongwe neasina kurwa hondo. Isuwo hedu vezvezanu ratova drama. Atichada, we don't want to see you Kudatagwire. You are the criminal that have caused a mess. That one, I also do subscribe to the same sentiments. I don't think Tagwire is one of the persons that we can even forget about being a president. Even to be a member of parliament, he doesn't even qualify. To be a councillor, he doesn't. The challenge of Zimbabweans is that you just see someone with a pretend like they are this big, and you think you can just put them on a pedestal. I'm not going to buy into that. If a person is being seen on almost every corrupt deal at the front, right? Most of reports or investigations that we see today, his name is at the forefront, and millions and billions of dollars are leaving Zimbabwe. He is the one of the owner of one CEO of Kumimba, a Kumimba that is actually doing a number of corrupt deals in Zimbabwe, including some of the monies that come from the Zimbabwe Sovereign Fund that they changed again intentionally so, named to Mutapa, because they knew the moment they take money from the Zimbabwe Sovereign Fund, they'll be caught immediately. All these were their games to mess up with the monies that's supposed to feed our people. So I don't know how you can wake up and call yourself a president. It's nonsensical. So Kudata should forget it. In fact, the guy belongs to prison. And at that time is coming. Is for those that may think that he's your God, or he's our God, all right, you're gonna be seeing your God while he's have to pay for his sins. Okay, you more than welcome to go and see him. So this is the reason why I came here today, because Dana was sent to prison because he just literally exposed a deal that was almost being executed, stealing money, the bank that belongs to the state, POSB. You know, sometimes I know guys can be greedy, but the level of greed in Zimbabwe is diabolical, it's satanic. You know, guys, wait a minute. I think even Satan himself is not as greedy as these guys in the country. Because you know what? Because the devil moves from, these ones are just stealing in the same place. Imagine bleeding a country until children become destitute, until mothers are sitting in the sun daily for survival, until young youth are destitute, graduates are selling sweets in town. You see that level of wickedness, dragging innocent babies to be psychopath. Do you understand me? That level of greed and wickedness, I don't know what to say. The devil is better than these guys. These are worse than Lucifer. Imagine sitting around the table and discuss how you can destroy destinies. Imagine that. Some people, some countries, they sit around closing deals and build their countries. These ones sit around the table and say, how can we destroy destinies for our own benefit? So that we can take what belongs to the state and stash it in foreign land, hoping that our children can be fed for generations, hoping that we can come back and be turning this country to a kingdom so that we eat and drink. My body and I had a discussion during the day. I said, I have a problem with the king of Eswatini. We saw what's happening in Eswatini. A lot of poverty is going on, but the family for the king himself, I don't know, he's kissed in the wife. He recently got married to Zuma's daughter, a 21-year-old, and he's 57 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, no, 57, yeah. He got married to Zuma's daughter recently, right? 21-year-old daughter. Okay, all right. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Okay, he paid millions. Their children, they live a fancy lifestyle, but most of the people in the country are starving. Is this about leadership, or there's some diabolical act going on in Swaziland, which is exactly what Emmerson Mnangagwa and his criminal cartel are trying to duplicate, to bleed an entire country to starve to death while they are living large. Million concubines, you know, cars, you name it. What are you talking about? They don't care if they can be potholes. No, they don't care. They can buy their own private jets and have helipads on top of their houses and be flying around the world while everyone else begging for bread. This level of wickedness, it will not see the light of day in Zimbabwe. Not when I'm still alive. It will not see the light of day. You know, once we spot the enemy, we'll fight hard until he let go of our destiny. So forget it. It will not happen. So those that were trying to steal a pure SB, yeah, they were exposed so quickly. I must say a shout out to Dara and a shout out again to Jealous Maure. Listen, Jealous Maure has been really busy out there. He's busy. And you know, this is what we need right now. Fighting to save this country. What are fighting for Zimbabwe? Honestly, guys, we can do better, man. Politicians, for now, we should never fight for positions. We should fight for a better country, right? All of us investing in dealing with wickedness in our country. But let's take a listen to what Dara said, please.
So you covered two stories, the Blessed GEZA interview, and you covered the POSB attempted haste. A lot of people suspect it's the Blessed GEZA interview that created your problems. I actually I'm of a different view. I think your story, the HSTV story, on the attempted haste of the POSB is what caused problems for you. This is my own reading, and my reading is that you upset people in the Attorney General's office who had an interest in stealing POSB from Zimbabwean taxpayers. You upset and you walked on toes in the Speaker of Parliament's office, where there were people that were interested in stealing POSB. I don't think it's the GEZA interview that caused this. Have you reflected on that?
So my apologies to everyone I upset. This is not my intention. When we do stories, we do this for public good. I was never arrested for interviewing GEZA. I want maybe just to put this clear. I was arrested and charged for press conferences, not an interview, right? A press conference that was addressed by Blessed GEZA. And as he addressed that press conference, he was sitting with 6 other gentlemen. Is it 5 or 6? I didn't say anything at the press conference. I was arrested for transmitting it, crying out loud for transmitting it. I am not a transmitter. HSTV is the one that has a license to transmit. It's the one that was given a license to transmit. I basically just work for HSTV, and I'm proud to work for them. I also, when I sat down to do an interview with Jelas Mawaride, all I did was probe him. He's the one who had this information. He's the one who I demanded that if you're going to sit on my show and make allegations, you've got to have evidence. I'm not going to sit with someone making bold allegations and don't go where, I just come and say, people steal. And you've got absolutely no shred of evidence. And he brought it. And I have an obligation, Trevor, because I operate on a public trust. HSTV does not belong to me. It doesn't even belong to the shareholders. It doesn't belong to us. Of HSTV. It belongs to the people. If we want things that belong to us, our sofas, our chairs that we close in our homes, if we have information, people have to know it, Trevor. So this is what I just basically did. And in my prayer, this helped the nation save an asset, right? It helped and I felt sorry for Ken. I honestly felt sorry for Ken.
Your CEO.
Yes.
He's the chairman of POSB.
Yes, but he didn't know this. And Ken does not know what is broadcast before it's broadcast. So when people were discussing this, I felt sorry. Like maybe they're going to think Ken is the one who brought this.
There were allegations from some people in the Auditor General's. What's his name?
The Attorney General.
Attorney General's office. There were some of those allegations, but he didn't know anything about this.
Yeah, but what's very important is, was the information factual? Yeah. Was it factual?
Yes, it was.
If it was factual, then we shouldn't be angering people.
So, as you sit there, 73 days, what was this for?
Trevor,
this is my view. I think they were punishing you. I think they were trying to send a signal out there. You have done amazing work, created a brand for yourself. You have become perhaps one of the prominent journalists that the country has. And this is my reading. Push back as much as you can. And this is my reading that if we can go for him, put him inside for 73 days, the little ones around are going to be scared to talk. And we're going to send a message, chilling message. You don't do this. Even if you're blessed, we're going to come for you. Can you push back on that?
So Trevor, I don't want to first see the evidence that they have in court and see if they have a case before I make that conclusion.
Yeah.
Because probably they do have a case. Yeah. Probably they are not punishing me. Probably they have something that is really genuine. I've seen the state papers so far. I'm not convinced that they have a case. But I want to see what the state will do. But you don't send messages that way.
You don't send messages that way. But I must say that today I watched an interview, presser for Chris Mnangagwa, and something distinctive that pissed me off was Farai welcoming Dara and say, oh, Dara, welcome. I'm like, excuse me, you send an innocent father to prison. Now you come back, you say welcome and want to act like you're a hero. What kind of nonsense is this? Honestly, these guys, I said, I'm just not the one that could be take reins or post Mnangagwa, because I mean, who am I? I'm not a politician. But if I was the one, I would deal with these guys decisively, and I would play. I would make sure that we set a precedence for generations. In this country, you do not behave the way that you do. Because vajairira vanhu muZimbabwe, vajairira vanhu ende vajairira vanhu. It's nonsense. But anyway, for those that did not watch the video, please, you're more than welcome to visit In Conversation with Trevor. Dara had an incredible interview that will show you how wicked this regime is. And I don't care someone who's going to come with you see, honestly, because I don't really like academia for that reason, that it has a tendency of concealing nonsense under the guise of no, but so and so have done that before, and then this also was a dictator, so you guys should just accept pain. I don't buy that nonsense, because one thing that I did, I spent my time studying how the mind of a human being works. We're because you know what, they've been taking us for a ride for decades. And it's time, Zimbabweans, we stand up against nonsense and said, not in this land. It has nothing to do with politics, but we are going to take back our destinies from them and making sure that they pay for all that they've cost us. They will pay eventually. I can see right now they're coming after your money again. They're saying you should pay for ZBC license. Guys, who watched ZBC in 2025? I don't know who does. Who does watch ZBC? If you check their numbers, who can watch lies? You see why most of the platforms now that are not being scripted work is because people are tired of listening to lies. I don't remember Ruveneko said that she left was it ZFM because she had interviewed someone and they did not want to hear what she said, and because of that she had to leave the job. I mean, you see. I mean, guys, come here and let's just have a party. Because once we come with stories, we know exactly what's going on in Zimbabwe in detail. And we may not say some of the stuff because we know the consequences. But we know that we can put people's lives in danger. So we don't say it, or we can say it in a way. But everything that's going on in Zimbabwe right now, we know it in detail. This is 2025, remember, it's not 1500s. Okay? Anyway, don't pay for the license, people. That's all I can say. You don't watch ZBC. It's time to give them exactly what they're giving the people back. Don't allow them to take your money, because now they're after the cent that you left within your pocket. Ask them the money you've been paying. We're paying for the taxes. The money that they're taking from Zinara. The roads are a mess. Where are they putting the money? They just take into their pockets. Stash it in Dubai. Stash it in London, where roads are functioning. In America, while our people are dying daily. The accidents. It's shocking. Do not pay for this flipping nonsense thing. Don't. You're not benefiting anything. It's enough. Information, this is a lie. Everything's about lying. Why would you want to listen to the lies? What do you need from them? Guys, it's time for you to defend your families. Your children's children deserve a better lifestyle. We cannot keep on funding nonsense because it definitely is working to a detriment. And we are not prepared to carry on with this nonsense of Emmerson Mnangagwa and the criminal cartels. We can't be at the mess of deceivers. People with no direction. We can do better, Zimbabweans. It's time we show them the door and say, not again. Forget about trying to sell all these illusions. We know what we deserve. We know who we are, and we know how the world functions. We are very much exposed. We cannot carry on being abused by this regime. Not again. I heard what Fazema said, kuneva chabhadhara mutere uoyo, garai maziva kuti mari yacho ichatongobiwa nembava. Okay? You will still be subjected to dongi, to dongi, iri kuramba kubuda muroad. Okay, no, I remember that. Okay, I remember the joke. Programming nema national cooking competition avano boa ai vano zongo kamura zvishoma pamari yavanenge vaba kuti vatengere vaya kupema mota dzevhara muromo. Okay, so forgive me when I read Shona. There's more blessings and blessing. Praise the Lord, bless me, please. That's why I want to go back to the land of my ancestors and get my language in order. My language imagine what? I'm sorry, oh, bless me, please. So in a nutshell, you remember the joke of the donkey? That joke that I on ZBC, they were simply saying Mnangagwa is like a donkey that doesn't want to leave. Remember the joke, and it went like it traded for some time. It's back again. It's big again. All right, moving on. Andy Mulingi said President Idi Mnangagwa was pardoned former High Court Judge Benjamin Paradza, who fled Zimbabwe in 2006 and has been living in New Zealand. It's reported that he is unwell, and in that context, the clemency seems like a human gesture. But it also raises a bigger question. Can the same courtesy be extended to others in political exile, like Jonathan Moyo, Sevia Kasukire, Walter Muzembe, Patrick Joao, and even outspoken figures like GEZA or Nyoka Mabunu? Is forgiveness now selectively extended only to those who pose no threat to the current regime's interests, or is it conditional? You can return, but only if you stay in line. If the state is truly in a reconciliatory mode, then let's see consistent, principled cemency and not one calibrated by political uselessness or silence. So, guys, I don't know how Zimbabwe functions, but it's like people can do wrong, because they fall under a political party, and then they're just gonna walk away and be dining. Then they come back and just, there's a lot of games that I don't buy into. But yet, a small little child that stole chicken because they're hungry, they go to prison for years. A person that has stole a cow can go to prison for years. And another that I think it needs to be looked into. Those that are stealing billions are walking freely, giving each other 250,000 in front of us. Vana Chivayo, they're walking freely in the country, do as they please. In fact, they'll be greeting policies and be dining. Where do we draw the line between truth and a lie and right and wrong? Or it just depends on who you're close to. And then what are we trying to achieve when we push such kind of a destiny? What are we trying to achieve? Because whether we like it or not, it changes society. I must tell you a secret that most of you don't even realize. You think you are smart by taking things in Zimbabwe, by creating a hostile society. What you don't actually think about is that the very same hostile society will kill your own children tomorrow. You don't see it. Because once you are creating a horrible society, right? When evil starts heating up, it doesn't matter whether your father was who and your mother was who. Because when criminals are acting, they only target those that have what they're looking for. Okay, so in South Africa, when crime started, it was mainly, say, white people were targeted. From what I heard, the history. And the people wouldn't care. Okay, it's a white person that has been robbed, so who cares? Because there was an apartheid that happened. We know how they mistreated our people. But they did not realize that the more you are concealing, you are nesting wrong. Now, they steal from everybody. As long as you've got what they're looking for, you're just gonna face the fate. There's no way you can't be in trouble. Nigeria, and was it Nigeria as well? Yeah, Nigeria, I think it's Nigeria, hey. Yeah, with the issue of drugs, because they started like, okay, you know what? We are trying to hurt the white people because we are retaliating. We want to pay them to pay for the evil that they've shown, for abusing our people. But where are we today? Our children, most of them are being drugged. So you do not understand that it's a culture you are building, but you come back tomorrow and haunt your children. So that's how limited you are in your thing, or your grandchildren. Some of them will be killed while they're after money and things. I hope you understand that. It's about time, guys, we turn and put order in Zimbabwe. Not because of us, but even generations to come. At least they must know that there's a difference between right and wrong. Look at Botswana, guys. Look at Botswana. Look at Botswana. Look at Botswana. Masis was drinking alcohol recently. I saw him with the elders there. But Mnangagwa, you are to leave this thing and go home. It's a culture we have built. It's stupid. Mugabe did not want to leave. Mnangagwa didn't want to leave. You can't deliver. Go home. But I don't know. Why are we in this mess that we're in? Honestly, it's sad. Anyway, so they're after GEZA. They are hunting GEZA, but GEZA is in town. Arimo Mere, he's in the vicinity. What are you looking for? GEZA is there in Zimbabwe. He's there. He's there next to you there. He's there. What are you looking for? Anyway, So there's a lot of monies that have been paid. You also know that Mnangagwa was very close to the president of Uganda, right? So the Pan-African Forum, right? The journalists in Uganda are writing that GEZA must be arrested or deported. I'm like, is deported where? Where is he? He's in the country. Who's supposed to deport him? Is Zimbabwe to deport him to where? All right. The SADC chair, Emerson Mnangagwa, people expect him to say something about the drama that's going on between Ramaphosa but he did not say anything because you know what? He's fighting his own battles now. It's the power that he's fighting for in the country. So he can't even see what's happening on the other side. Although Chris started to be dramatic and be funny, but I'll look at that story tomorrow. Anyway, so they're after GEZA. You also know that this war Pan-African parliament is compromised. Don't forget the story of Charumbira, you know, those damning sexual allegations, and also the issue of him and the corruption as well. You know, so here we are today that the very same parliament is writing that GEZA must be, you know, deported. Let me read what they're saying. As we write all on behalf of Pan-African Forum Limited and Associates, a continental advocacy and legal policy platform to express our grave concern regarding the continued use of South African soil, particularly under the ANC-led government, as a staging ground for regime change activities targeting the sovereign Republic of Zimbabwe. We have gathered credible intelligence and evidence indicating that one bombshell GEZA and a network of foreign-sponsored actors are actively operating from South Africa, utilizing non-governmental organizations, digital media platforms, and political networks to coordinate a destabilization campaign against the ruling party in Zimbabwe. ZANU-PF and President Emerson Mnangagwa's administration. Those operations, which include digital disinformation, warfare, and mobilization of protest strategies, constitute a direct violation of regional and international law. This is where our specialty is. Our legal and diplomatic concerns in the conduct of these actors that contravene Article 4, subsection C of the SADC Treaty, which upholds non-interference in the international affairs of member states. Their actions further breach the African Union Constitutive Act 1, Article 3B and G on sovereign respect and condemnation of unconstitutional changes of government. South Africa's inaction may amount to a violation of its obligations under the United Nations Charter, Article 2, subsection 4, as well as its own domestic legal instruments, including the Protection of Constitutional Democracy Against Terrorism Act. Nyekoras Matsanga urged South Africa and the ANC to uphold Pan-African solidarity and respect of national sovereignty. He said, we request ANC to cooperate with the government of Zimbabwe in SADC regional mechanisms to ensure South Africa territory is not used for the destabilization of a fellow member state. We, however, state here that we are not acting on the instructions of Zimbabwe government, but we the watchtower of Africa. Okay, first and foremost, when the elections were rigged, I never heard Pan-African this forum complaints. Right? When Zimbabweans are being beaten, abducted, tortured, I've never heard them complain. Right? When Zimbabweans are starving, I've never heard them send letters and say, this is unacceptable. There's something really weird about the life that we live in 2025, especially with the so-called leadership. The way I'm seeing how they exalt positions more than the livelihood of the people. It's shocking me. What is really leadership without the people? And first, why do you even complain? Because post-independence of most of these countries, people were fighting from exile. It's not new. There was Radio Zimbabwe, I think in Mozambique, if I can remember, long time ago. And Smith, while he was fighting Zimbabwe, people were talking from Mozambique. So why are you surprised? Because Chris Muchangwa, he instructed us to employ the same machinations that were used during our fathers fighting Smith regime. But this is what you're getting now. What are you complaining for? We are delivering exactly what you asked us to do. Why would we sit back being abused, knowing well that we are paying their salaries? We we are employing Emerson Mnangagwa. We employed him from 2017. We're paying for his salary. We feed his families. We don't feed everybody in his family, including his children. You see this? When he flies expensive jets, the taxpayer pays. Who is the taxpayer? We, the Zimbabwean people, we pay the tax. So when you come to us and try to intimidate that we should not speak through the power, we should not question how people are using our funds. To me, I find that weird. Do you really understand what Pan-Africanism really means? That Pan-Africanism seems to be an illusion because it doesn't save the people. But unfortunately, we are smarter now. We're not buying all the shenanigans. We know exactly what's going on. We know what ZANU-PF is capable of. I genuinely believe it. Remember when the ANC guy, the youth guy, went to Zim and he was saying, oh, Babere, ZANU-PF, we are fighting for people, what's etc. They realized that whatever they're trying to do doesn't cut. Now, boom, they're trying from Uganda. See, maybe there can be something that happens. Yeah. We don't care anymore. Right now, we are fighting for our own peace. Because SADC proved beyond reasonable doubt that it's a useless, toothless dog that could not do anything to serve our people. So we taking upon ourselves to fight the nonsense that's going on in the country like everyone else across the world. We have been abused for far too long with this regime of ZANU-PF. From Mugabe to Mnangagwa, it cannot carry on like this. That's why we want change to happen yesterday. And we keep on saying Emerson Mnangagwa needs to go. Every criminal should be arrested, held accountable. Not because of politics, but because it's a principle. Children are being arrested for stealing cows, for stealing chicken. But those that are stealing billions of dollars are walking scot-free. Already a principle is broken and we cannot expect the blessing of God on this country. So with that being said, they have to know that we are not going to sit back and watch. We deserve to wake up in the morning and smile and smell the soil of our ancestors. We deserve to live life with our parents. We deserve to enjoy Zimbabwe. We deserve to benefit from our minerals. Because it baffles me, and I wrote that today. Actually, I wrote to Emerson Mnangagwa. It baffles me that the same country that is so rich and filthy rich so, right, our people are living because of poverty, squattering and be destitute in other countries. But there are outsiders who are coming to Zimbabwe and walk out with billions. Make it make sense. Is this what you call Pan-Africanism? And don't forget, Emerson Mnangagwa himself came to South Africa when he was fighting with Mugabe. He was here. So why is it so shocking today to the Pan-Africanism quote unquote that there are people that may even be here in exile, like my brothers, Manaka Sukwire, etc. What is so new? Why is it new? You see, this is why I respect South Africa so much. I do remember Mbeki's brother was asked a question to comment on the Afro Forum. Why did they have to go to America and talk to Trump, etc.? Are they supposed to be charged with what do you call it, man? Treason, right? And he said, why should they be charged with treason? That was what he said. And this is Beck's brother. He said, during the apartheid era, we knocked doors in different countries, including America. We're fighting the apartheid regime. We needed help. Why is it now you guys are complaining, the ANC, that they are going to America and speak? We don't care whether they are right or wrong. The bottom line is that we have used those sources to bring sanity in this country. And I'm here to send the message to Pan-Africanism. Why is it so new to you, considering that the very same regime did the same thing during the Smith regime? Is this about really bring sanity in Zimbabwe, or it's about your games that you're playing, the monies that you guys are receiving back doors to destroy our country? It's enough. The Zimbabwean people are no longer buying all these. We have known that you guys are totally dogs. You can't bring sanity. You're only there for the money, and we are not buying it. Honestly, I stand by my convictions. The Zimbabwean people will be the only one that will deal with their issues. I'm sorry. No one will come and save Zimbabwe except the Zimbabwean people saving themselves, like what other countries are doing. So we'll do everything in our power to make sure sanity reigns and the criminals are held accountable. So Pan-Africanism, wherever you are and whatever you are talking about, bless you wherever you are, but trust me, we are going to fight for freedom, and that freedom will come soon. Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, the criminal cartel, this evil regime will be shipped out in no time because our people cannot suffer any longer. It's not a political issue. We don't care about positions. In South Africa, so to give you, to educate you, if a president fails to deliver, he gets shipped out. And how many presidents that were kicked out? But they never complained. They lived peacefully. It's only in Zimbabwe, when somebody fails to deliver, we are forced to keep a useless guy in position just for the sake of pleasing a person to say, I've got a title to be called so and so. No. It's over. It's over. Not in 2025. We are taking the power back to its people, the Zimbabwean people. You come as a leader. If you don't deliver, you are shipped out. It is what it is. You leave. Otherwise, what is the point of keeping Emerson Mnangagwa, who can't even do anything? The guy is mentally unstable. We can see it. People are stealing in front of his. He can't even tell if we have a train that is actually from Mozambique to Zimbabwe. He doesn't even know. He has no clue of what's going on in the country. And all you can tell me is that we must just keep him because we want to please people. I heard Chris Mchangwa said, no, but he needs to finish his term. We are not here for finishing the term here. We are here for delivery, sir. It's not about finishing. You can finish at home. You don't have to have a position to finish your term. You can finish at home and be drinking coffee. We need to change the way we run this country. This country is being run like a toilet. People can just say, I am not going to leave. You're not going to leave. You are going to leave. Imagine, I'm just not going. You are not going to what? It's enough. We put a stop to abuse. Mugabe, 37 years of wasting people's lives. Now Mnangagwa doing the same. So what it means is that the next person is going to do this. No, it's enough. Mnangagwa we need to draw the line in the sand, not again in this land. Go home and play with your grandchildren. We need to put sanity in this country. It's enough. So the Pan-Africanism, have a good day. Bless you wherever you are. Praying for us so that we can achieve